Wagoners. This is Mickey Mouse, and today we're going to do our top 5 Disney characters of all time, and Patrick seems to be really excited about this in our no particular order.
Thrilled.
Are you not a Disney fan, Patrick?
Oh, I am. I'm just not as geeked up as you guys might be.
Me, Travis, and Russell we're super excited.
I can see the chub in your pants.
I've got one.
Through the table.
Through the table.
I may need my
What was that knocking noise?
Tra-
That
to put on it. But Patrick, if you would like to take us away, you can go right ahead. I'm sure it's brief.
You know what? So I can get this over with and go back to trying to produce this fucking ragtag outfit.
Go ahead.
I'm going to go first. No honorable mentions.
Well, that's
No.
unfortunate.
No pomp and circumstance. Just straight answers. Don't need to explain.
straight answers, homie.
Just straight answers only. Number 5, Simba. Number 4, Ariel.
Yeah.
You like the seashells or what?
Number 3,
You like
He likes all 3 of them.
Winnie the Pooh. Number 2 is Donald Duck because he was hilarious.
He's a badass, man.
He was hilarious. And number 1 is, this is the only preamble I'll give because he's the icon. He's the face you see on everything Disney. He's the alpha and the omega. He's number 1 for all the kids, and he makes disgusting little rodents seem cool. It's Mickey Mouse.
Marty Moose? No.
Pat, did you get your list off of like the same place that Russell got his Braves list?
Top 5 ranker list of
I don't know if Simba would have made it.
Yeah,
Similar website, different list because some of my Simba was not in the top 5. So I didn't go straight top 5 from the website, but
You should have read it. You should have read it like Russell, like Mikey Moose.
Mickey Moose. So anyway, who wants to go next?
All right, I'll go next. I'm pretty sold on mine. I feel like I am leaving out a couple of honorable mentions here just for sake of time and to not have a top 10 list. But I'll give 3 honorable mentions. First one from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. I've always had a little thing for Grumpy. Like he was always one of my favorite characters. A lot of the times when you see him pictured, he's holding a hockey stick, which I think is awesome. I actually have a Grumpy hockey jersey that I wore to Disney World on my most recent trip. So Grumpy will come in as an honorable mention.
Does he hit people with it when he's pissed off?
Probably so. He probably takes that out on like Doc or something.
Why do you keep looking at me when you talk about your list?
He's the enforcer, man.
I don't know. I'm trying to maybe sell you on some of these characters to realize there are more cool Disney characters.
I don't disagree that there aren't more cool characters. I just don't have a lot of them on my list.
Okay. All right. Second honorable mention from from the Jungle Book.
What was your list again, Patrick? You
Actually,
can tell us in 3 seconds.
I'm going to stare at Russell for this one. The second one is from the Jungle Book, and he would be the hypnotizing snake known as Ka. I always thought he was kind of underrated. He didn't get the same kind of airtime as Baloo did, but I thought Ka was pretty damn awesome. And my last honorable,
Can you spell that?
Kaa. Okay. And my last honorable mention, this is going to be probably my most obscure one on the list, but I've got another one on here too. Maybe another couple of them on here. But this one is very obscure, but it's from The Wind in the Willows. It takes place in, he's part of Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. If you've seen The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad, it's the humble Moley. So Moley comes in as my last honorable mention.
What?
Patrick, you look confused.
I have no idea who this person
Hit the damn sound.
or
Not
character
surprised.
or character is. Yeah, like I feel like some of this list could be their rides or part of the attraction at Disney, and people in the know would know them, and I have no clue because I've never been.
Well, one of them on here is strictly from a ride, but this is from a movie, The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad.
Didn't see that
They
one.
have 4 main characters. Mr. Toad's obviously the main one, but then you have Ratty, Moley, and Angus McBadger. So
Angus McBradger.
I always liked Mole. He was kind of like the shy, humble one. He was always the nice one who was kind of vouching for Mr. Toad. Mole comes in at my last honorable mention.
Okay.
Number 5, pretty obscure, but not from an obscure cartoon by any stretch. Pat actually had Winnie the Pooh on his top 5. But my favorite character from Winnie the Pooh was the most underrated character in Disney history. And that is Old Wise Owl from Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, wow.
So he comes in at number 5 on my list.
Okay.
Number 4 is a little bit less obscure. From Alice in Wonderland, he definitely to my opinion, made the movie. I think when you go into the live action version, Johnny Depp, really almost becomes like the main character. But the crazy ass Mad Hatter comes in at number 4 on my all time Disney list. Number 3, not obscure at all. I've mentioned this movie on a couple of different podcasts where we did top 5 Halloween, top 5 Christmas. I'm a humongous Nightmare Before Christmas fan. So Jack Skellington is going to come in as my number 3 favorite Disney character of all time. Number 2, from the now defunct Splash Mountain.
Ain't there no more.
Look, I know Splash Mountain has its critics and has been, accused of being, a racist movie, but the characters in the you didn't know that one? The movie Song of the South?
And I was like, no, really?
Okay. But the characters from the ride, the cartoon characters in the movie, really cool characters. Brer Rabbit, Brer Fox, and then my number 2 favorite Disney character, Brer Bear. So Brer Bear comes in at number 2. And in my all-time favorite Disney character, which is not from a movie, strictly a Disney World character, strictly from Epcot, strictly from Journey into the Imagination, is the imaginary purple dragon named Figment. That's something that stuck with me. I remember my first trip to Disney World. I came home with the old school trucker-style hat with the dragon head on it, with the horns, and I've just been attached to the character ever since. I was crushed at one point when they said that there was a possibility of him getting replaced. They have now had a resurgence in the popularity of Figment, and I've been assured that he is not going to get replaced. So, and actually an upgrade to the ride is supposedly in the works at some point soon. So Figment comes in at my number 1.
That's a good segue. I'll jump in because Figment is one of my honorable mentions. Just because from childhood, I still have, the last time I went to Disney World, which was our senior trip of high school, unfortunately, that I have a figurine that I bought of Figment when we were there, and also a stuffed one that I put in that case that's in the corner of my house, like where we sat and do the pod sometimes. That I have those at the bottom. Y'all probably didn't notice, but yeah, those are in that bottom case of my Figment memorabilia. So
Yeah, I think I bought that same figure on senior trip that you did.
it's a glass figure, yeah,
but I ended up losing mine in my house fire.
or ceramic,
Rest
whatever the
in
hell it
peace.
is. Yeah. So then, so again, my list is just not super ranked. It was hard. I was just naming characters I like, basically. So, and I was surprised I could think of so many. So I have 8 on my list. That was one of them. So the next one I had to think of one from my childhood, and it's Dale from Chip and Dale.
Okay.
And I remember loving Dale because of his red nose and having a stuffed one, and for some reason liking him as a kid just because he stood out in the video games and things like that. So Dale's an honorable mention. Another one is not a cartoon character. I had to go with Gordon Bombay from the Mighty Ducks movies.
Not Gunnar Stahl.
Oh, we didn't rule that out.
We said Disney characters, right?
We said not Marvel, not Star Wars.
I didn't want to make it all cartoons. So, and yeah, I do like a lot of characters in the Mighty Ducks movies, but I just had to think of all right, who's the central guy? I mean, yeah, I like him. It's hard to pick like a certain player on whichever team. I wasn't too in, like the movies in general. So it's like, all right, so I'm going to say Gordon Bombay since I like the movies.
Quick question. Was Hans a diddler?
Oh, yeah. Oh, fucking right. Him and his brother. What was the brother's name? You had Hans and
Jans?
Jans. I think it
I don't
was
fucking
Jans.
know.
Just Jan. I think they both were.
I was concerned for Charlie's well-being at some point in the movie. I feel like Charlie might have gotten a couple two-way,
Charlie had a little,
a lube check. from Hans.
Charlie had a little going on, you know.
I mean, I did like what's the actress's name? Marguerite Moreau. That's in that. That she's the girl. I forget what her character's name was in the Mighty Ducks movies.
Oh, Connie Moreau.
Catherine Irby?
But
Guy,
no, but
Connie and Guy.
but that's her real name because she's in obviously older. She's in Wet Hot American Summer, and that's like the only other movie I know that she's in, and she's quite good looking in that movie. I'm
I
just
thought
saying.
you were talking about Catherine Irby, who was also
No,
in Star
no.
Trek Echoes.
No, not her. Not the coach.
She got naked.
No, one of the players.
Star Trek Echoes, really naked.
She wasn't. Was she the goalie? Wasn't one of them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that who
She
I'm
wasn't
thinking?
a goalie. She was Guy Germain's.
Yeah,
love interest.
Connie and Guy.
Okay,
Connie and Guy, dude. Come on.
right. Yeah,
Guy
because
Germain, underrated Mighty Duck.
Russell knows what I'm talking about.
yeah, well, because you said Moreau, and I'm like thinking that's her real last name is Marguerite. Her name's Marguerite Moreau, I think.
It
But her
is.
name was,
Her
but
last
her
name
name,
is Moreau,
but her
yeah.
name was Connie Moreau in the movie.
Oh, okay. So okay, there you go. Anyways, moving on. So I guess this is my 1, 2, 3. Yeah, this is my top 5.
Hold
So
on a second though. Was she ever naked? Really naked?
no, not that I know of. But I mean, yeah,
Let's do a fact check on that, Patrick.
Nope.
just wear some tight clothes and Wet Hot American Summer. Just saying, you know.
Looks like Patrick. Looks like Sean had the Google who Moley was.
What?
Did Sean have the Google who Moley was?
No,
Oh,
it's
just-
Travis just sent that to the
sent it in
group.
the group.
That's just where I have my list pasted so I don't lose it. So yes, that had to pop up while I'm, looking at my list here.
Todd, you're doing great tonight. Let me tell you that.
Oh, I got the text right.
Todd can thank the Tully.
There you go.
We can thank the teller.
Yeah, I'm a hostile bastard.
Yeah, you are a hostile bastard.
So anyway, moving on to number 5. Keep it a non cartoon characters. I kind of gave it away earlier because I asked, but I got to go with Coach Boone from Remember the Titans. Just again, another movie I like a lot of characters in it. I mean, Denzel's got too many good lines in that movie. I'm always quoting I'm going to show you how much fun we're going to have, and the whole zero fun sir scene and stuff like that. It's just he's just a freaking ball buster in that movie, and very good movie. So. Number 4, I put the Cheshire Cat, just because not that I'm a huge Alice in Wonderland fan, but I like that character. I have a couple of the pop figures. Just I don't know. It's just the the cat's just got that grin, especially with the floating smile and all that kind of stuff. Always was. I remember liking it as a kid and everything. So, yeah, I don't know. I thought I was going to say something else about it. What?
Moley.
I was coughing, sorry.
Breaking wind over there.
No, I'm just coughing.
Are you breaking wind? Anyway, moving on. Number 3 on my list, I have Mr. Incredible.
No, that makes sense.
I've had a couple people say I look like him at times in my life when I've been clean shaven and like my hair was lighter. Like on an old ID badge I had out when I worked at Chalmette, they're like, you kind of, and of course this was, a few years ago, it was like, you look like that Incredible guy. And it's like at the time I had never even seen the movie because it's like far removed from having a child and stuff like that. But, and that was way before the second one came out. That was like such a gap between the first and second movie. So the second one came out like right at the perfect time when I had a freaking 4 or 5 year old, however old she was. I think that was her first movie that I took her to see. Me and her, we went and saw The Incredibles 2 in the theater. So number 2 has to be, well, from Nightmare Before Christmas, but not Jack Skellington, it has to be Oogie Boogie.
Okay.
Just, again, same thing, the memorabilia, the figures, different things, had that pop figure of the one with him covered in the worms and all that, like when he takes the sack off, at the end of the movie and just...
Takes the sack off.
Just, I don't know, for some reason, drawn to a character like that. I mean, again, my child likes him too. I don't know why. It's like, so we, like at Comic-Con, it's like we see some Oogie Boogie. It's like, oh, we check it out and, we've got random things around the house. And then number 1, I think I mentioned this on my Disney list. Of course, I'll get flack for it all the time, but I don't know why. It's a personal favorite. I have to go with Wall-E.
Okay.
I like the movie. I know people hate it, but I always thought it was really good. Uniquely done, with the low dialogue and just, I don't know. I really liked it. I mean, it's got like freaking 8 some 8 point something stars out of 10 on IMDb for a reason. Somebody likes it out there.
I'm with you, Sean. Wally was awesome.
Yeah, I keep trying to get Victoria to watch it, and she keeps like acting like she can't watch a movie with a robot or something. But I'm gonna make her freaking watch it one day.
It's a terrible excuse.
What?
You can't watch it because it's a robot.
Whatever her it's like. I say, you know, we try to pick a movie. Hey, you want to watch Wally? Like, no, I don't. Yeah, I don't want to watch that. And I was like, I guarantee you'll fall in love with this movie if you watch it. But one of these days.
I'm surprised you left the Beast off the list.
Yeah, I thought about that, but yeah, I actually didn't get into Beauty and the Beast more until I had a child. Like I didn't really like it growing up, or I didn't really know it that well until having a daughter of my own. But yeah, the Beast is on there too.
Yeah, 'cause you were both Beast and Mr. Incredible for Halloween, so
Yeah.
multiple times, right?
Oh yeah, I've worn
So
both
then
of those to
Comic-Con.
Comic-Con. Yeah, both costumes have gotten their money's worth. Let's just say that I've worn them multiple times.
All right, yeah, I'll go next. So I have 3 honorable mentions. So 8 total, Patrick. Top 8.
Yeah, I had a top 8. So.
I can count.
Let's see what
It's
the
okay.
fuck is this. Okay. I'm going to go with my third honorable mentions. I'm going to go with Bonsai from Lion Kings. He's one of the hyenas. I think The Lion King was one of the first movies that really got me fascinated with hyenas. They're actually one of my favorite animals. Did you know that, Pat?
No, but that speaks exactly to you and your personality, and it totally makes fucking sense.
Cool. They're scavengers, and they're just really cool. I mean, they're villains. They're villains, but they're not like the main villain.
Motherfuckers,
You know
I want to strangle.
You know
Mhm.
what I mean? Yeah. And Bonsai was voiced by Cheech Marin from Cheech and Chong. So
Was Chong also a hyena voice? No, just Cheech.
press a button. No. Okay.
You want me to press a button?
Yeah.
Wow.
What other fun facts do you have about the movie or these characters, Todd? Please enlighten us.
I mean, I was fascinated with the fact that he was the villain, but not the main villain. He was the one that didn't laugh, and he wasn't the female character, but he was just kind of like in between. I like those kind of people.
This is completely a derailment, and I'm sorry for doing this, but because I'm jumping ahead. Speaking of Lion King, somebody on this podcast better have one of the Lion King characters in his top 5, or I'm gonna flip a fucking table.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
Not me.
yeah.
I'm gonna continue with mine. And let
It's
Russell
not.
go
It's
next.
not you. But when we get to him, if that character is not in his top 5, I might quit the podcast.
Looks like adjustments are being made.
Fucking
Hey, he's fixing it.
carry on, Todd.
I'm not gonna lie. I brought my child to see the live action one recently, whatever that year it came out, and I fell asleep in the
And there was
theater.
some fucking going on, or what?
I totally fell asleep.
Carry on, Todd. I'm sorry.
All right, so my second honorable mention is Jiminy Cricket. He is basically I'm a licensed professional counselor. That's my career job. Aside from being a school counselor, I'm an LPC.
Professional.
Jiminy Cricket is the closest thing that you're gonna see in a Disney character to a licensed professional counselor.
What?
I mean, does that surprise you, Patrick? I mean,
I don't remember the character, so
always let your conscience be your guide.
sure.
Yeah.
What a dumb life saying. Might as well just put fucking live, laugh, love on top of your fucking fridge.
Wow.
Only let you come see your guy.
Jiminy Cricket, quite an inspirational Disney character. So he's my second honorable mention.
I agree with Todd, but I love Patrick making fun of it.
Oh, dude, I think my whole list just got erased.
You should be erased, but carry on.
It's a good thing. Oh, and here it is.
Is that a different movie?
So my last honorable mention is going to be Clopin from The Hunchback of Notre Dame. He's the jester. He leads the Feast of Fools. He's right there. Let's see, I got the little stuff figure of him. I think that might be it. I used to have a little PVC figure of him, but I think it was at Travis's house in the house fire and it burned.
Probably.
But good, fun-filled character. Kind of a villain-esque, but not really. Like I said, kind of like Bonsai, kind of like the characters like, and not that full-blown villains, but villain-esque.
He's also the narrator at times.
Yeah.
Villain-esque.
That's a really cool character. I think I might have to be him for Halloween one year. Yeah, maybe this year I might put that on my list. But Clopin is my last honorable mention. my going into my top 5 now, my 5th, I actually had the little Vinylmation figure right there, and it's not like the rest of them. It is a Vinylmation monorail figure, and it is of Francesco Bernoulli from Cars. He's the Italian drag racer, and he is voiced by one of my favorite actors. We haven't done a top 5 favorite actors, by the way. John Turturro.
Spoiler alert.
John Turturro is who voices Francesco Bernoulli. And when I found that out, I was like, oh, that's cool. John Turturro voices a character in Cars too. Then you watch the movie and you're like, he is also kind of like villain-esque, but not really, because he kind of becomes friends with Lightning McQueen and Tomato at the end. But villain-esque is kind of like the theme of what I'm going with here. And again, as I picked my soccer team, I picked AS Roma, and because of my Italian roots, and Francesco Bernoulli is Italian, I figured why not.
Good choice on John Turturro, by the way.
And John Turturro is awesome.
Very sneaky, sir.
Great movies.
I'm
Great
just,
movies.
I'm
Really
just
great.
laughing because John Turturro's brother Nick is an avid, like, just maniacal Yankees fan, and he went on a rant when Soto left to the Mets. He went ballistic on social media, and it's fucking hilarious. If you ever get a chance, go find the clip of Nick Turturro and John Turturro like lashing out about Soto going to the Mets. It's great.
That doesn't surprise me because I'm pretty sure John is also a Yankees fan because he played Billy Martin.
Oh, yeah, they both
in
are.
that ESPN E60 movie or
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember. The Bronx is Burning. Is that what it was called?
Yes.
Yeah, he played Billy Martin.
Yeah, they're big Yankees fans, and when Soto left, they went off on social media. It's hilarious if you want to go watch it, but carry on.
Number 4. I was this character for Halloween one year. He had the killer sideburns, and Biff and Sean and Travis all bet me one year that if I was to go to work with the sideburns and take a picture with Biff's dad in his PE office, they would I think pay my beer for my bar tab for like a year. And I was Prince Hans from Frozen. So Prince Hans is going to be my number 4 choice. I was him for Halloween. I loved again, he was actually the main villain in Frozen. And it kind of pisses me off that he's not really included much on the Frozen ride, which, as Russell mentioned on the Disney Ride app, that it's total ass, and it is, because Maelstrom,
yeah.
Maelstrom was the shit in Norway.
The shit.
And then they changed it up to be Frozen, and they don't even include the main villain on it. The only part that Hans is on it is the little newspaper article, right? When you walk in, he's kind of like getting thrown into the pile of shit at the end of a Frozen, Summer? What was that called? It was it was a little Frozen short movie. It was something to do with summer or heat or something like that.
Summer of Sam.
But he was like kind of like nudged into a pile of horse shit at the end, and that's the only part of the Frozen ride in Epcot that he's in.
Was it Ice Age? No, Ice Capade. Avalanche.
Yeah, you being funny.
Something
there.
with ice.
Snowstorm.
No, I think it's something with heat. Summer's nobody knows. I'll look it up when it's over. But Prince Hans is my number 4. I dressed him as Halloween. It's still one of my favorite costumes that Jessica and I did when we were Hans and Anna. I thought he was a very, very deceiving villain. I thought he was going to be the nice guy that got dicked over when Kristoff came into the picture, but he ended up being the villain, and it kind of threw me for a little bit of a loop. And I was like, all right, this guy's fucking cool.
Spoiler alert.
I think pretty much everybody's seen Frozen at this point.
I know.
All right.
Patrick's got that look on his face of like,
No, I've seen Frozen 1 and 2.
Next one, number 3, I have the Vinylmation of him as well. I also have a sketch. I have the sketch of Clopan in my private practice office too. But Captain Gantu from Lilo and Stitch. Again, who does not like a jacked up, hammerhead, whale type looking fucking guy as one of the primary villains in a movie? Have you seen Lilo and Stitch, Patrick?
I was about to say Stitch was on my list, and I don't know how it disappeared. I just remembered that he was somewhere on the list.
Yes, I have. And first of all, I don't like you taking this episode as an assault on my.
Every pick I say, you're like,
No, there are characters that I don't know because I have not seen the movie or the show or whatever from it. So there's some I'm genuinely perplexed by. I'm not shitting on your picks because I don't know who them are, but yes, I do know who I do know Lilo and Stitch. My dad named one of his cats Stitch back in the day. I'm talking, I was probably 16, 17 years old. Maybe at the most, yeah, 15, 16. My dad had a cat named Stitch, but I saw the movie.
Lilo and Stitch is great.
From what I remember,
And
yes.
Captain Gantu, really cool, jacked up
Yeah,
looking
surprisingly,
hammerhead guy.
It came out in 2002, I think, is when Lilo and Stitch came out.
I think I gave it an honorable
Maybe,
mention when we did
maybe I was
Disney
20.
Live action comes out in May, by the way.
But if you remember,
I'll be there.
when the ride came out, it was originally Alien Encounters, which is really cool because it was a scary ass fucking alien. Then they replaced it with Stitch and made the ride more goofy. But when you're in the waiting line queue, Gantu was like giving you a speech, and I was like, that's the first time I ever saw him because when that ride first came out, I hadn't seen the movie yet, and I was like, this dude's really cool looking. I need to go see this movie. So it was that ride or that attraction, because not really a ride, that made me go see the movie because I thought Captain Gantu was that cool. So he's my number 3. My number 2, and this is not from, kind of like Sean picking Gordon Bombay, this isn't from a Disney movie, but it's from a show. And I also have multiple things of him on that shelf as well. I have the PVC figure right there, and I have the Funko Pop as well, but my number 2 is Megavolt from Darkwing Duck. I just thought he was a really cool villain in the show. There's a rat that's kind of like his power is that he has this electrical surge that kind of surges through him,
His head's a plug, isn't
and
it?
he's kind of a dumbass. Yeah, he's got the little socket
Yeah.
on his head, but he's kind of a dumbass. He's wired. He's electrical. He's funny. Megavolt from Darkwing Duck.
This sounds just like you.
That's why I like him.
Funny and a dumbass.
I should add a Megavolt figure to my desk at work. I got random things, like I got like the little mini puff, like putting the wires together, making the fire and stuff from Ghostbusters.
I should get figures of each of one of the podcast members that remind me of
And mine
them.
would be Megavolt.
Yeah, you'd be Megavolt.
Look, I'd be honored to have that.
You're a funny dumbass, Tom.
He is my favorite. You know, I have now number 1. I have a tattoo of, and I thought about getting a Megavolt tattoo because of how obscure it would be. You know, I'm big into obscurity. I don't like to pick the mainstream characters, right?
We know.
But number 1 is Donald Duck. Donald Duck has been my favorite character since I was a kid. Again, if you look at, I have the Vinylmation figure where he's wearing kind of like the Disney varsity sweater. I have
See the Lego.
the Lego blocks. I have the Funko Pop where he's riding the Matterhorn. I've always been a fan of him. Hey, Patrick, can you believe why I'm a fan of him? Because he was always angry. He was just an angry little fella.
Are you angry?
Does that sound familiar?
Are you always angry?
It's because he doesn't wear pants. I don't know.
I mean, if you look at the Funko Soda, where he's from the Three Caballeros, and I got the tattoo, of course, with his devil horns, because that was one of my favorite renditions of Donald when he was the devil.
Evil Donald.
So yeah, Donald Duck is number 1. I mean, and I don't even think even Megavolt at my number 2 is remotely close.
That'd be Russell. Go ahead.
All right, let me close this out here. My list grew over the course of y'all's lists. You know, it's one of them for sure due to obligation, which I'll start off with that first honorable mention is Nala.
Not the only thing growing in this room.
Somebody's got a chub.
Hey, you.
What?
Oh, sorry, was that me? Sorry, guys. Okay, so my next one that I added was actually Monterey Jack. I used to love watching the Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers when I was younger. I honestly completely forgot about it until you started talking about Chip and Dale. So I just wanted to give him a shout out.
Good deal.
My other, I'll just go over them real quick. My other honorable mentions are Pain and Panic,
Okay.
Megara, and Rafiki. Overall, sorry, I'm losing train of thought. All my characters. Yeah, thank you, appreciate it. Most of my characters are kind of comedy based. Really like comedy, and that's kind of how I went about choosing everything.
Megara is the female from Hercules.
from Hercules. Yeah, she's just got some really good witty banter, and she's just a fun character.
She's got some really good witty banter.
Yeah, double meaning, love it.
2 of them.
All right, so moving on to my actual top 5, and I'm
Cheating
surprised
on Nala.
no one's not. I'm surprised nobody else had this person on here. So we had a mention of some of Okie Boogie, but nobody had Jack Skellington.
I did, but you left the room. He was my
okay.
number 3.
Okay, yeah, I stepped out. Real
Fair
quick.
enough.
That makes more sense. Jack Skellington's amazing. I love musicals. I love the claymation movie style. Yes, Pat? I had to throw him on there. It's something I religiously watch every Halloween and Christmas. It's just a fantastic movie. Number 4 is Mushu. Great character, like great comic relief. Super fantastic movie. Mulan's an awesome movie. I'm surprised nobody else had any characters.
I don't know that one that well.
Oh yeah, we need to have a watch party.
I mean, the live action one's like kind of
I didn't even
it's
finish
PG.
watching
It's
it.
PG-13, isn't it? It's like it's not necessarily a kids movie.
Number 3, Powerline from the Goofy movie.
Yeah.
Fantastic character. Honestly, thought
Russell's
about
got some obscure ones on here. So
yeah, I
he's
kind of
not
went
reaching
for
mainstream.
not mainstream stuff as intentional.
Goofy movie's an underrated gem.
Oh, it's such good.
I remember that VHS I had in the big plastic box. I used to love that movie.
It is by far the most tastiest looking animated pizza slice in movie history.
Open Ninja Turtles.
Ooh, that's a good one too. Okay, the both of those are at the top. All right, number 2, I have Genie. Such an iconic character. I mean, like Robin Williams is just so talented, multi-talented.
Did he have another name, or he's just the genie from Aladdin?
Yeah,
It's just the genie.
Blue Genie.
Yeah.
You mean not Will Smith's version?
You know, I actually didn't mind that movie.
Haven't seen that.
Yeah, have y'all seen
I
that?
didn't think it was that
I
bad.
I thought it was going to be like he was going to do it a disservice, but he honestly didn't do that bad. Like the movie was just okay overall, but he didn't do a bad job. But yeah, Robin Williams' Genie is pretty top tier.
Yeah.
And then my number 1 is my number 1 because it's from my favorite movie, and that's Cusco. I absolutely love Emperor's New Groove. It's David Spade, and
Oh, really?
I don't think I've ever seen that movie.
it's a fantastic movie. It's definitely underrated. It's not as well known as most of the other ones, but yeah, Emperor Cusco.
That's one we could have grown up with. I mean, it's 90s, mid 90s. Huh?
One that a couple of them that I need to just give a real quick shout out to is TikTok Rock from Peter Pan, Flash from Zootopia. He's the sloth, and in this one there's bordering top 10, but it just way too obscure, I guess. Well, they mentioned the mole from Mr. Toad, but the air conditioner from Brave Little Toaster.
What a great
I
movie.
forgot to put Brave Little Toaster. I would have put the toaster just because of the whole movie. But yeah, I forgot.
The air conditioner was so underrated. Shit. And the guy couldn't get out the wall. I mean, he was an angry mofo. But
Shit.
Should've been on Todd's list.
This is why I had to stop. I remember scrolling by that, but I forgot to add it to my list. And I could have
Hidden
put
gem.
I could have put Dustin Hoffman's Captain Hook from Hook.
yeah.
But
Hook is not a Disney movie.
it's not.
It's not because I looked it up because I would have put Rufio on mine.
Rufio.
Well, yeah. Oh, that's
Steven Spielberg did it.
now that you say that. Yes, that version. Yes, it was. I remember that was hard to find, like on streaming or something. Like finding it. Like I own it now on Vudu or whatever it is, Fandango now. But yeah, it didn't have it for a while because it wasn't a Disney movie or something. Yeah.
Okay. Solid list, fellas. So I know Pat was excited about this one. So, Pat, is there anything you'd like to say before you close this out on the top 5 Disney characters?
I need to watch more movies in general, but more specifically Disney movies, because you guys, be it through your own fandom or your children, are more versed in Disney than I am, and I remember some names and characters from back in the day, but I'd say 70% of your list, I was like, who? What? And I had no frame of reference. And before he takes offense to anything I say, like Todd's list, he was talking about certain characters. I was like, who? What? And I'm looking at his
My little Disney.
his
Brian.
display piece over here.
That's a pretty cool Deep Eddy vodka Fraser piece that Patrick gave me.
It's pretty dope.
You need to put a piece of tape over Austin's original and put Patrick's original.
But no, like there's a lot of characters I either don't remember or just flat out don't know because I didn't watch a ton of Disney movies because that's just not my genre. So that's why I went first. And I was like, I'm just going now. If I actually put some non comedic for the podcast thought into it, I'd have probably a better list for you, and I'll probably sprinkle that in one day for you. But yeah, I don't know a lot of movies or Disney movies.
So if you had to pick a movie to start with, and you say you need to watch more Disney movies, which one would you start with?
So my favorite Disney movie is The Lion King. Like, it's not even close. Whatever would be second place is not even close to that.
But is there any that you want to see that based upon these characters that we mentioned?
Song of the South, maybe.
What?
What?
What? No, just I couldn't pick one to say I need to see more than the other because I need to see all of them. Because if it's not Lilo and Stitch, obviously Lion King and Little Mermaid and Moana and some of these other ones, I don't know or don't remember a ton of them. So it's going to take me at least a calendar year or so to get through some of even the more bigger name Disney movies that never saw. So if you guys want to embark on a journey of a Disney movie watch night with some bourbon
We could
and popcorn, I'm not opposed to it. Just understand, I have serious what about damn near every pick you made outside of the obvious ones.
we can start with The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad on Disney.
Yeah, let's do that first, since that's been brought up so many times on the pod, and I still have no idea what the hell that is or what it's about. But I've heard the names and characters referenced before, so we'll do that.
Sounds like a plan. And on that note, wagons
Wagons
out.
Wiggins out.
Bye, bitches.